Okay, today is the Vashishta day, and I read. And it talks about again pure consciousness, which we all have heard all this about, and I'll explain it as we go along. It is page 91 of the Supreme Yoga by Vashishta. And it reads, the Creator Brahma said, the individualized consciousness, that is mind, has in its own manifold potentialities, even as spices have taste in them. So the consciousness is not in it has got its own taste in it. That consciousness itself appears as the subtle or ethereal body, and when it becomes gross, that itself appears to be the physical or material body. So that same pure consciousness is appearing also as the gross physical or material body. That individualized consciousness itself is known as the jiva or the individual soul, when the potentialities are in an extremely subtle state. And when all the jugglery of the jiva ceases, that itself shines as the supreme being. I am not, nor is there anyone in the universe. All this is nothing but the infinite consciousness. Just as the intention of the young man become manifest, all this is appearance based on infinite consciousness. The young man's intention made them feel that they were the creators. Even so am I. This is talking about, remember when the SU and the sons created different universes, and Brahma said, well, since it's all an imagination, so really, the young man's intention made them feel that they were the creators, even so am I. So frankly, according to all of them, they all have nothing but created an illusion. So the pure and infinite consciousness alone thinks of itself as the jiva and as the mind, and then believe itself to be the body. Not very complicated. It's the consciousness that thinks itself as the jiva and thinks itself as a body. When this dreamlike fantasy is prolonged, this long dream feels like reality. It's true, when we start believing that we are the body and that we live in a proper world and that it is solid. It is both real and unreal. Because it is perceived, it appears to be real, but because of inherent contradiction, it is unreal. The mind is sentient because it is based on consciousness. When viewed as something apart from that consciousness, it is inert and deluded. See, the mind, when it has thoughts, it seems like it is sentient, it is alive. But is it really? I continue. When there is perception, the mind takes on the role of object of perception, but not in reality. Even when it is perceived as such, the bracelet is seen, though in truth it is gold. Again, he goes back to the same explanation that though we see it as a bracelet or a necklace, the reality is that it is made of gold. Because Brahma alone is all this, even that what is inert is pure consciousness. So he's saying, but even what is inert is also pure consciousness. But all of us, from me down to the rock, are indefinable, neither inert nor sentient. There can be no apprehension of two completely different things. Only when there is similarity between the subject and object is perception possible. Concerning what is indefinable and whose existence is not certain, inert and sentient are only words with no substance. In the mind, the subject is believed to be sentient and the object is said to be inert. Thus caught in delusion, the jiva hangs around. In truth, this duality itself is the creation of the mind in hallucination. Of course, we cannot determine with certainty that such an hallucination exists either. The infinite consciousness alone is just what he's really trying to say is that you are pure consciousness, and everything else that has come out is also come out from the pure consciousness, and you believe something to be inert and you believe something to be sentient. You believe that something is living and something is not living. But reality, it has all come out from the pure consciousness. When this illusory division is not seen for what it is, there is arising of the false egoism. But when the mind inquires into its own nature, this division disappears. Yeah, so initially when as we grow first, we create an ego, but when the mind starts inquiring into what an ego is and into the nature of the ego, there is the division disappears. This is what we do in Gyan, no? We kind of unravel each stuff and we suddenly realize, oh my God, it is not the way I thought it is. There is realization of the one infinite consciousness and one attains great bliss. So it seems complicated, but in reality, it is just repeating the same thing in different ways. So if you keep listening to it, you will realize that it is really an inability to be able to really explain the truth of what is. And that's easy to understand, because even if I were to ask you what love is, would you be able to explain? Does it mean always being, is a mother always loving? Is that supposed to be love? Is a mother supposed to be pampering? So is that love? Or is a mother who's always shouting at someone, is that love? You have to understand the whole thing. So this Yoga Vashishta and Vedanta is all an attempt to explain the inexplicable. So until next time, you have a great week. You take care and God bless.